not record it is I didn't want people to think, oh, I won't get on, I'll just listen to the recording. And it really is valuable. Part of the reason we have this call is for you to connect with other new and newer distributors, so that if you have a question or somebody else is having a challenge, other people are like, yes, it's not just me. And we form kind of a community here of support for new people, so that you're here with other people who are new, struggling maybe the same way you are, celebrating successes, etc. So I really want you to be on, and we want more people to join us live so that we have that valuable discussion afterwards, okay? So even though I may be recording it now and then, please join us all the time. Okay, so what we're going to talk about over the next couple of weeks for the beginning of the call is this book called Get Over Your Damn Self. It's by Rami Neustadt, and this became kind of well known, I would say, about a year ago. A lot of us started talking about this and picking this book up, and a lot of people really liked it. So she is what she calls the no BS blueprint to building a life-changing business. And she's all about, you know, do you want this really to work? Do you really want this to be successful? And she's talking about like six-figure income and higher. And we know that's possible in this business. But what I'm going to do is kind of pull some things out of here and then throw sort of a juice plus spin on it at the end so we can see, because she's in network marketing and she just went, pardon the expression, balls out, and gives her whole story at the first, and has built herself this enormous business. And some of us want that, and some of us maybe don't, and some of us not even sure what we want. So we're going to start and talk a little bit about the first couple chapters tonight, and then I'll just kind of pick it every week. We'll go a little bit farther through the book, but I highly recommend picking it up and reading the whole thing. I'm just going to hit a few points. So the first chapter is called Why People Fail and Why That Ain't Going to Be You. So I just want to say a couple things before we even started, that I'm assuming that when all of us paid our $50, that huge investment of $50 to join this business, we didn't do it with the intention of failing, right? Even though it's only $50. Everyone joins this business hoping that it's going to be successful, to whatever that means to you. Okay, so keep that in mind. I didn't join this just to fail. I invested $50, but you're going to invest some of your time as well. Make it worth it. And that doesn't mean you have to build a six-figure income, but let's make it hit whatever goal that you want. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. But here's her 4 reasons for why so many people, quote, fail in the network marketing business. Number 1, they say they're not coachable, that they think somehow magically they're just going to know how to do this, and it's just going to happen, and they don't need help from anybody. 2, they don't treat it like a business. They treat it like a hobby, and I heard that pretty close to when I started. If you treat this like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it's going to start paying you like a business. And take it from someone who treated this like a hobby for about 5 years before I decided to treat this like a business, and definitely that is true. The 3rd reason is they're not willing to get uncomfortable, that there's new skills to involve, just like any new job you might take. And just because you don't have a boss, this is kind of a job, and it's a fun job, it's a rewarding job, but it's not easy. So there's things to learn, and we're here to help people learn those things. You have help. It goes back to the coachable thing. And the 4th one, and she says this is the biggie, and we're going to talk about this mostly tonight, is they're not hungry enough. They don't want it enough, or they haven't decided why they want to do this, and it's not important enough to them to put this as a priority over some other things that happen in life. And we know things happen in life. So she says you've got to figure out what it is you really want that you don't already have, and whatever it is, it's got to be important enough to get you to do something, to commit to consistency in this business. Doesn't mean this is a 40-hour-a-week job. Doesn't mean you can't keep your other job and do this on the side. But it does mean you need to be consistent with whatever you can do. And that's going to build time. But you have to have that why, which we're going to talk about in a minute, strong enough that when you feel yourself pulled somewhere else and you're ready to come up with that excuse, like, oh my gosh, The Bachelorette's on tonight, I really need to watch it, but I still haven't followed up with these 3 people. What's your priority going to be? How strong is that why? How badly do you want it? So 4 reasons why people fail. Not coachable. They don't treat it like a business. They are not willing to get uncomfortable and learn some new skills. And they're not hungry enough. So we'll talk about that last one a lot. I want to talk a little bit about coaching. In this business, you have as much support as you need. You have coaching available from your upline. There's resources coming out everywhere. Websites, videos, things you can text. This business, I started this business 20 years ago. Totally different night and day. So even though you have someone who's ready to link arms with you and show you the way and help you out and do all of those things, don't forget this is your business. And I was just sharing this, I think, with Sue today. When I started 20 years ago, just as a background so you know where I'm coming from, I had no coaching, none. I made NMD top level 6 years ago, pretty much on my own. Because my upline, who is a wonderful lady, didn't have coaching either. She didn't really know how to coach me. And so I had to kind of figure this out from the get-go. And we didn't have a website. We didn't have a virtual office. You know, I don't want to make this whole like, oh my gosh, I walked to school, you know, barefoot kind of a story. But the point is, I had to have this attitude of, okay, what else can I do? This is my business. If I want this to grow, what else can I do? And I could ask people. But I think even though you have all this support and all this coaching, don't forget this is your business. And your upline's not going to do it for you. And you kind of have to have this attitude of like, okay, I've talked to this many people. What else can I do? What else can I do? And you have to have that hunger almost. And this attitude of it's my business. And if you're not sure what else to do, then you ask. And we're, of course, here to help you. But you need to have a little bit of, what's the word? I'm not even thinking of it right now, where you take responsibility and get into action yourself without us having to constantly cajole you into it. And you'll see that as you bring more people on. So yes, be coachable, but also realize it's your business. Here's an example. I was talking to Julia last week. And she's in Pocatello, Idaho. She doesn't have a lot of support there. She has great support with Sue, and she knows she has support with me and on up. But there's not a lot of events happening there. And so she was, you know, kind of wondering, what events are there that I can invite people to? And what did I tell you, Julia? I'm putting her on the spot.
You said, figure it out and make it happen.
Create your own. Yes. If there aren't any events that other people are putting on, figure out what you want to do. What do people come to? We'll help you set it up from afar, but do it yourself, you know, create events. That's what I had to do. I had to do all this. So, and it's more fun and you get a lot more satisfaction too. So there's a coaching, yes, but also remember it's your business and take some initiative to get some things done. Okay, so the main second chapter is called Why Are You Here? And I just want to talk about our business because it's, I think, different than a lot. My experience has been people join Juice Plus and our culture for one or more, could be all 3 of these, but there's 3 main reasons why people join. 1, money. Maybe they just really need extra income. 2, our mission really speaks to them. They've had an amazing experience with Juice Plus. And they want to share that with everybody. So many people join our business with that as being one of their reasons. And 3, culture. We have a way cool culture. We have awesome people in this business. We have a ton of fun. Those who've been to events, I know Satya and Lisa both have been involved with Abby's house and some of her events. Julia has had the pleasure of coming to ours some here in Washington, but she's been to conferences and boot camps and things, so she knows how much fun these people are. So that attracts a lot of people. So 1 or all of those, money, mission, and culture, are reasons people come in. So it's really important to figure out what we call is what's your why? What really do you want out of this? And at first, it's sometimes hard to know because you're not even sure what's possible. And that can change all the time. So I want to talk about 2 things, and I'll share what she says, and then I'll put my spin on it. She says, if you can't see it, smell it, taste it. If it doesn't move you deep in your soul, then I promise you it's not enough to keep you committed. So a lot of people come into this business saying, I just want to help people. This is really good. It's done great things for my family. I just want to help other people. And that is why we're all in this business. But honestly, that is not going to be enough to get you off the couch or out of bed or back on your phone or your computer on those days where you really don't feel like it. You need something deeper than that that's really going to be, this is what I want for me or for my family, what this is going to do for us. So you have to dig deep. She says it can't be just about money, but it can be what the money will do for you. And it has to be deeply personal to you. Okay? She says you need a bulletproof why to get through the tough times, and that why has to be about you and for you. And the other thing that she says is our whys evolve along with our business. The key to consistent growth and not stalling out is to continually check in with yourself and your priorities. So you've got to see what it is that this could do. She said one of the biggest reasons a lot of people can't find their why is that they don't dig deep enough. Okay, and they've also, a lot of them have stopped dreaming. Realize that this business can help you reach those far off dreams, and you want to kind of think about what that would be. What if your life was perfect? What would that look like down the road? But then we need to also have those immediate goals, because that's what's going to get us into action now. A lot of us, I think, can't picture the fact that I could earn a six-figure income if you've never done that. That kind of lifestyle isn't even really tangible yet. Maybe you say you want it, or you want to travel a lot, or whatever the big thing is that you want to be able to do. Hold that there. Keep that dream. Have that vision board. But then we've got to scale it back and say, okay, what's the first thing that this could really do for you? Okay. She said, no matter what stage your life or business is in, isn't it time you gave yourself permission to dream again? And then she says, one of the things you got to do is declare publicly that what it is you want. Okay. She said, we need to set a goal. And then we start breaking that down into smaller goals. We need to set a goal and work toward it. That's not where our day-to-day focus should be. Instead, our focus is the process of reaching the goal. Okay? It's in this business, what is under our control is our activity. What is outside of our control is whether or not the people we talk to say yes or no. So sometimes we've had people getting frustrated in the business because they set a goal because I want to be here by this date. And if it doesn't happen, it's just because they couldn't get a hold of the people they needed to, or they went on vacation, or the people they were counting on said no. And they get frustrated and they think I just can't do this. Your goal is what your activity is going to be. And if you do the activity, the results will come. Maybe not perfectly in the timeline you had in mind, but they will come if you stay consistent and don't quit. And the last thing she says is, how badly do you want it? That's where it has to hit your soul. Okay? What if you could coach yourself and others to wire your brain to link pain to not taking action in your business and massive pleasure to taking action in your business? There's that, we all were wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure, right? That's just innate in us. And so one of the things, and she goes really into talking about this, but when you're thinking about what you want long-term, like that big picture, and you say, okay, what would it feel like to be able to have this life? Maybe quit my job, maybe travel the world, maybe move to a different place and live on a house here, and have more time for volunteering or whatever it is, like your dream life. The pain of not taking action toward that, if that becomes more painful than the pleasure of taking action towards that, will keep you in the game. Does that make sense? So I see somebody at the grocery store, oh, I should say something, I should start a conversation, I should be friendly, I should reach out to them. You know, I see my best friend post on Facebook that they just got diagnosed with cancer. Oh, I should reach out to them. No, I don't want to. That would be too painful. I don't want to feel like I'm being pushy. I don't want to whatever. And the action becomes painful. But if we could rewire ourselves to, it would be more painful not to take action. And it will give me huge pleasure to reach out in love to this friend and say, hey, don't know if you're ready to hear anything more right now, but I have something that could help you. Are you open to hearing about it? We can talk about the verbiage about that later. But the pleasure of reaching out and taking that action is more than the pain for months of saying, oh, I should have said something to her. I should have shared with her. This could have made a difference for her. You see what I mean? The pain and pleasure, you've got to rewire your brain so that you're moving forward. So here's what I want to say. That's just some little snippets from hers about the importance of your why, and that will keep you in the game, and you won't be one of those that quits. So you want the big dream. Really think about in life what if you could design your life, what it would look like. And maybe that's hard right now, and that's okay. It takes a while. Come to conference, you'll hear some dreams. It'll be easier once you get more involved in our big events. But the first goal, really, I want you to answer this question or fill in the blank. It would be so awesome if my Juice Plus income could pay for blank. Now, it's not all about the money, because all of us in this business would share Juice Plus whether we get paid for it or not, but probably wouldn't share it as much. And whether you like it or not, whether money is a weird thing for you or not, whether you need money or not, when you do share, you've joined this business, when you do share, you're going to get paid in some form, lots of different forms. And the beauty in our business is every cent of your paycheck reflects someone you've helped, either with their health or their financial situation because they've joined your team, or both. So it's, how would we call that? Doing well by doing good. We are so lucky because we're in this business where you get to earn money by helping people. And you get to decide what that's going to do to change your life. So your goal isn't thinking about, oh, I'd love to earn $500 a month. What you want to do is really think about, if I earned, say, 500, 300, 200, whatever it is, that very first thing, what is something in your life now where a little extra money could cover the cost of this or get you this? And I'm not talking about a big fancy car unless that's somehow really a big thing for you. I'll give an example. I did a 3-way call with one of our team members and a new person on her team. And we were talking about this. I said, answer this question. She thought for a while, and she has a daughter who is diabetic. And she said, oh my gosh, there is a piece of equipment that is very expensive that I would love to be able to, we want to get for her. And we don't have the money right now, but it would monitor throughout the night so that we could sleep, and we wouldn't have to, my husband and I wouldn't be getting up all night long to check her blood sugar and make sure she's okay. And that would be such amazing peace of mind. We get some sleep. That would be incredible if I could create enough income from Juice Plus to buy that piece of equipment. That's the first thing I really want to do. And I said, awesome. I mean, does that not give you chills? What or why? Is that like going to hit you at the heart? And so is that going to keep her in action? My response was, oh my gosh, let's make it happen. We're here to link arms with you. We're going to give you a plan. You can come up with a plan. We're going to work with you. We'll teach you the skills you need, the coaches you need, but let's go change some lives so that you can have that. And that was something really, really important to her. So what you want to do is to think about that statement, whatever the first thing is. And if money is not a big deal to you, you have plenty of money, your husband makes a lot, you make a lot, and it's not a big deal, think of other good things you could do for that with that money. Who could you donate to? What kind of cause would you be able to give bigger money to? Because like I said, it's not about the money, it's about our mission and it's about our culture as well. But you are going to create some income. And the thing about income is it's measurable. It's a way to say, okay, this will be my first goal because this Again, don't give me just a number when you're talking to your upline. Think about, keep peeling back. Okay, I want to earn this so that I can do this. Like this example I gave you, so I can buy this machine. Why would that be important to you? Oh my gosh, so that, our daughter's going to be safe at night and we would know. Why is that important to you? Just the peace of mind and the sleep that we would get. Okay, now we've got to something really, peace of mind and sleep and knowing their daughter was safe. There's something that can get you at the heart. So if you can think of one thing that would really make a difference in your life now, that can be that first goal to work for, and then we reach for it. For me, I didn't take this, I told you it was like 5 years. I didn't take this seriously at all. I treated it like a hobby because I never had any of this kind of training to really think about what would do for me. When I got serious is when I was a stay-at-home mom and I was going to have to go back to work. And I didn't want to. I had 2 little kiddos and I'd been home with them for 5 years. And I really wanted to stay home with them. All of a sudden, I had a strong why. And so I took this business more seriously. I started doing it on purpose. Again, I said, what can I do? What else can I do? Who else can I talk to? What else can I do? And I made it happen. I didn't have to go back to work. I was able to stay home with them all those years. But that wasn't my first, my very first thing that happened. I wanted to just pay for Juice Plus for our family. I mean, that was seriously why I joined the business. And then my income got a little bigger, and then it was able to pay for preschool. That was huge for me at the time as a stay-at-home mom, one income. But it got really big when I had that strong, strong why where I wanted to be able to create enough income I didn't have to go back to work. So that's what I want to share for the first story, the first chapters of the book. Let me stop the recording here, and then let's talk.